Today, I get to talk to you about two of my favorite things. One, money. Two, black people. Money, black people. Black people, money. Now, when I say money, I am specifically referring to philanthropy. The time, the talent, the treasure, the money that we donate and give to organizations. When I say black people, I'm specifically referring to the African Americans, myself included. Anybody who checks that box. I love money. I love philanthropy. Philanthropy is an opportunity to change the world. I've spent the last 19 years of my professional career in major gift fundraising and prospect development. I analyze data, wealth, and behavior to uncover donors and develop donor strategy for all sorts of causes. My total dollars identified has long surpassed the $1 billion mark, and I've had the opportunity to see my leads become public parks, college scholarships, medical research, a women's shelter, behavioral health facilities, and state-of-the-art medical facilities for humans and animals alike. I love philanthropy. I also love black people. I'm going to spend a little more time on the philanthropy piece. So I want to be really clear that philanthropy is big business. Philanthropy is $427 billion big. In 2018, the Giving Institute reported that American individuals, foundations, corporations, and bequests donated $427.71 billion to nonprofit organizations. That's real money, and it's just about 2% of our national GDP. And this is not even consumer dollars. This is tax-free donor dollars, tax-free impact dollars. I also love black people, and it makes me very sad that there's an assumption that African Americans are not philanthropic. There's a terrible assumption, an assumption of poverty, an assumption that black people are not interested, not willing, not capable, just not going to do it, will not give their time, talent, treasure, or money. That is a false assumption. Today, I want to look at some facts. I want to challenge our assumptions with industry facts and facts that I've observed over the last 20 years. So we know philanthropy is big business. We also know that African Americans play a role in this. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes bragging about my people. So I have to share one reality with you. Not only is philanthropy big business, not only do African Americans play a role in this, I have to share a piece of information that I've been told you're not going to believe. It's either going to blow your minds or you're going to think I'm flat out lying. So I hope you're ready to hear it, because this is what I came to share today. African Americans are the most charitable group of people in the United States. Do we believe that? All right. When asked what does a philanthropist look like, most of us conjure some version of the Monopoly man, right? some old wealthy white guy come to save the downtrodden masses with a big check, maybe a nice photo op. And that certainly does represent a face of philanthropy, but it's just that, just one face. And there's a greater truth, and the truth is that African Americans are the most charitable group of people in the United States. Not only are we the most charitable, those that study and research philanthropy also know that there is no start date. No one can identify a start date for Black philanthropy. The general accepted consensus is that African Americans are the most charitable group of people in the country and always have been since the beginning of time. One could argue that philanthropy is in our DNA. We know Black don't crack. But do we know Black gives back? So here's where I get to brag about my people. The Rockefeller Philanthropy and the Kellogg Foundation report that nearly 2/3 of African American households donate money to a charity every year. 2/3 of us. So check out the person sitting to your left, the person sitting to your right. At least 2 of you are philanthropists. Black gives back. In a report funded, a multi-year study actually, funded by U.S. Bank and presented by the U.S. Trust, along with the Lilly Family School of Philanthropy at Indiana University, report that 30% of African American donors give because of family tradition. This number for white Americans lags at only 18%. Being a philanthropist was passed down from one generation to the next for 30% of us. For me, it was my grandmother making curtains for the church's new wing. My Aunt Ruby, always attending board meetings immersed in Churchwomen United. It was my Uncle Archie sliding a couple bucks to some brothers, walking down the street passing out flyers in front of my grandmother's house. I was young and didn't understand everything on the flyer, but I remember the colors. The colors struck me, red, black, and green, and I knew it was important. African American donors are twice as likely to believe in the impact of their gift. They believe their gift really makes a difference. 41% of African American donors report plans to increase their gift in the next 3 to 5 years. In comparison, only 24% of white donors report plans to increase their giving. Even back in 2000, the White House Council on Economic Advisors determined that African Americans are significantly more likely to give than whites. Now, donor identification and prospect development is what I do. I spent my entire career identifying donors. I know what a hot prospect looks like. The person who has a family tradition of giving, the donor already self-motivated to increase their gift, the supporter who deeply believes in the impact of their gift in your organization, that's your best prospect for a gift right now, a gift in 5 years, and a gift a generation from now. That's money. That's Black people. So I have to push past another assumption before I wrap up, because not only are we the most charitable group of people in the country, our generous nature often leads well-meaning Black people to start nonprofits. And when I ask these people, how are you going to pay for your programs? How will you fund your vision to save the world? The answer is always the same: apply for a grant. So we need to look at those facts too. We know that nonprofits last year received a total of $427 billion. Where did all that money come from? 68% of that $427.71 billion came from individuals. That's me. That's you. It's the people sitting next to you. We're the individuals. We're in the black. 18%, runner-up, 18% came in from foundations. That's our community foundations and our family foundations. Followed by that, 9% came in from bequest. That's money that people leave in their will to be given after they pass. And last, and absolutely least, grants. Corporate grants, 5%. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with having corporate partners. Certainly, we need them. But too often, when we focus on getting those grants, we are overlooking our best prospects, ourselves. Philanthropy is not just wealthy white people. Philanthropy is Black Philanthropy Month, created by the Pan-African Women's Philanthropic Network. And every August, it celebrates African descent giving around the globe. Philanthropy is also the soul of Philanthropy, Cleveland. This is an exhibit of stories and images celebrating the history and impact of Black philanthropy in Cleveland, Ohio. Philanthropy is also my sister and I creating Cistern of Fire as a vehicle to donate money to organizations here in our hometown of Columbus, Ohio, as well as organizations in our sister city of Accra, Ghana. Philanthropy is not just my job. Philanthropy is indeed in my DNA. It's in my blood. It's in our blood. And the time has come for us to be more intentional about this. We are facing real challenges. In 1898, W.E.B. Du Bois put forth a call to action for African Americans to exercise unified strategic philanthropy. When he wrote this piece in 1898, Ida B. Wells was smack dab in the middle of her anti-lynching campaign. 2 years prior, the Supreme Court passed down its Plessy versus Ferguson ruling. In the same year, Louisiana implemented the grandfather clause. Now, I don't know about you, but all of that feels eerily familiar. The struggle is real, and the struggle continues. What if we, African Americans, the most charitable people in the United States, the best prospects, what if we attended the fundraising galas? What if we served on the boards? What if we, those with the greatest belief in impact, actually read a nonprofit's impact report? In 1898, Du Bois put forth that call to action. Today now is third quarter 2019. Black women are dying, giving birth in hospitals. Black babies are not making it to their first birthday parties. Black children are being killed on their way to school and while they're at public schools. Black men are dying prematurely for a host of reasons. We can't breathe. How many more tragedies? How many more years? How many more billions before African Americans answer a centuries-old call to action for unified strategic philanthropy. Black people, my people, we are the country's most charitable. We are the country's best prospects. We are our own best prospects. What if we acted like it? Black people, money. Thank you.